Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. As you guys can see up on the screen, today we're going to be going over my Worlds 2022 Pick'em. This is something that I do on the channel every single year, and for a couple of reasons. One, because I just think they're fun to do. Two, I think it's always good content, or at least decent content, because you guys can see the picks I'm making. You can comment down below what picks you're making different, what you think I got right, wrong, whatever. And then there's always people who come back to the videos later to see what I got right, what they got right, what I got wrong, they got wrong, all that stuff. So I think it's pretty good. Obviously, they get decent views as well, which I'm always there for. But this year, the Pick'ems is a little bit different. You can see they have the crystal ball, they have the picks, they have the leaders, and yeah, this looks a lot different. Usually, you were just picking the group stage and picking the knockout stage later on, and play-ins was never really a part of it. They never had a lot of these different props and stuff, and I think this is good and bad in some ways. Like, obviously, it's change, and change people are always going to deal with in different ways, but it's also interesting because the Pick'em had been the same for however many years, and it was maybe getting a little stale, maybe getting a little old, and we'll have to try out this new Pick'em and see how we like it. But you can see here, there's like 20 different props to go through, and then eventually, you are still going to have the picks of like the play-in knockouts, groups, quarterfinals, semis, finals, all that stuff. It's still going to be normal, but they just added an extra crystal ball section to it this year and included the play-ins and knockout stage as well. So kind of interesting. We're going to be going through my picks. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions as well. I'm obviously coming at this from the point of view of somebody who watched pretty much every single LCS game and pretty much every LEC game, and just like the big games and some of the finals of the other regions. So obviously I don't know everything. I will have some errors here. Also, I don't know exactly what the competitive meta is going to be. I don't really watch Champions Queue. And yeah, I play solo queue, and yeah, I see the patch notes, but like, I'm not super up to date on, oh, this is what's going to be good on the Worlds patch, because the Worlds patch is way different than the patch we just saw. So keeping that all in mind. So question number one is, who will be the most picked champion during Worlds? And for this one, I think there's definitely a couple ways you could go. One, 80 carries are usually a really good option because there's only so many 80 carry champions, so the couple of them are going to get picked a lot. But I don't necessarily know which 80 carry is going to be best. I know Zeri just recently got nerfed. Some people are saying Caitlyn's going to be good. Some people are saying Miss Fortune's really good. Miss Fortune could definitely be that, but then when you also only have a few good champions, you got to worry about which ones are going to be getting banned out. I don't know. Then mid lane is an okay option. Top lane blind picks are an okay option, but I'm going to be going with Azir as my most picked champion. He's a mid laner that doesn't usually get banned that often, usually gets picked. I don't know. That's where I'm going. Most banned champion during Worlds, I think this is maybe not an easy one, but at least easy one for me to pick. I think it's going to be Yuumi. There's definitely some other options that could be there, but we'll have to see. As far as the highest win rate champion at Worlds, when I'm thinking about this, a couple of them really come out to my mind. I think Zilean could be an interesting answer. Maybe Olaf could be an interesting answer. But I am ultimately going to be going with Seraphine because I think she's pretty busted, and I think she's not going to have that high of a pick rate. But I do fear that a lot of NA teams might try to pull her out, and they're probably gonna lose, so maybe that could ruin her win rate. But I think it's a really strong champion, so I'm going with Seraphine. Next up, we have who will be played in the most different roles at Worlds, and really there's going to be a ton of champions that get played in 2 roles. So for you to be right about this, you have to pick a champion who's going to get played in at least 3. And I know the ones that everyone has been picking has been Maokai and Gragas. Maokai just recently got some new buffs, so he could be popping up, but I don't necessarily think we're going to see him. Sejuani is an outside shot if they decide to play Sejuani as a support. Also, there's interesting choices like Yasuo and Yone, who could maybe be top mid 80 carry. They can even go support with a Senna 80 carry. Ultimately, I think I'm going to be going with Gragas, though, because I could definitely see him top. I could definitely see him jungle, and every once in a while people do pull him out support as well. But I don't really feel great about this. I feel like there's going to be maybe one champion that gets picked in 3 roles, but it's probably just going to be a tie between a lot of champions for 2. And even at 2, maybe Sejuani's a safer pick than Gragas. But I feel like Gragas has a better chance to be picked in 3. I don't know. I'm going to pick Sejuani because I think if it only ends up being 2, I'd like to at least get those points. So I'm going to go Sej. Who will have the most deaths at Worlds? To me, this could be a like support, a tank style support. It could be a jungler as well. A lot of people are picking Vi. A lot of people are picking Nautilus. I think Leona is a potential another very good candidate here. Amumu seems like another support that kind of runs it down quite a bit. Overall, I think I'm going to go with Nautilus in this one, though. lot of engage supports that just they hit the hook, they end up dying. Even when their team wins a fight, they still go down. Now we're getting to the players. Who's going to have the highest KDA at Worlds? This is kind of an interesting one. Obviously, it's going to be a player who ends up winning a lot of games. Some people are picking RNG players since they're going through play-ins, but really in the grand scheme of things, play-ins won't be that much, like if your team ends up winning Worlds or something like that. So it probably needs to be a player on the team that you think is going to win Worlds. I think the LPL teams are really strong, but I think overall I want Gen G to win. I think Gen G is kind of the most interesting team to me and probably the team that I'm rooting for. So I like to pick the players that I'm going to be rooting for. So I'm going to go with Ruler on this one. We'll see how that plays out. Who will play the most different champions during Worlds? I see a lot of people going with Caps for this one. I think that is an interesting answer, but I'm actually going to be going with Keria. I know in Spring Split, this guy was playing all different kinds of champions. Hopefully, he keeps pulling out the spicy picks here. Who's going to get at least one pentakill at Worlds? I know a lot of people are taking Gala, but I am going to be the Fade God here. I'm going to be rolling away from him. I'm going to be going with Viper, the AD carry for EDG. If Danny was playing, he would be a very, very popular pick, but he is not. So we're going away from that. Who's going to get the most first blood kills at Worlds? This one, I know a lot of people are picking Tian. I think he is definitely a nice pick. Some people I saw were picking Viper. I think most likely I would like to go with a jungler here. Obviously, they have a lot of opportunities going to different lanes and stuff like that. Jankos, often known as the First Blood King, but if I'm going to pick Jankos, that means I would have to assume that G2 is going to make a deep run, which I don't necessarily know if I believe that. But I do want to get some Western players in here as well, so let's roll with Jankos. I'll go with the First Blood King in the jungle. Who will get the most kills in a single game at Worlds? Who is going to backpack a game the hardest? Could be an AD carry, could be a mid laner. I think they're both very, very viable options. Could also be like somebody like, I don't know, Blabber for Cloud9 or something like that. But ultimately, I don't know. This one's going to kind of be a tough one. It could be a Chinese player and just an absolute stomp or something like that. I'm probably going to pick Ruler for this one as well. I'm really hoping Ruler's like one of my favorite players to watch. I really hope he has a pop-off tournament. That's where I'm going to be going there. But I think Berserker could maybe be interesting. I think Caps could maybe be interesting. I'm trying to think of guys who like really, really backpack their team. Overall, which team is going to win Worlds? I'm going with Gen G. I think the LPL teams are very, very strong, but you always have one LPL team that just totally shits the bed, so I don't really like betting on them. Like I said, Gen G is definitely going to be in that conversation, and I think Gen G winning would be the coolest. Chovy getting a title, I think Ruler's fun to watch. That's kind of who I'm rooting for. Who's going to place first in Group A at the play-ins? I've already made this video, and especially with all the Fnatic drama and turmoil going on, I'm even more so going with Evil Geniuses now. Who's going to place first in Group B? I'm going with RNG. I think DRX is overall not that strong. I think Mad Lions is not that strong. I think Saigon Buffalo could maybe be good, but they're the 2 seed coming out of the VCS. I don't know. We'll see. But that's where I'm going there. Which team from a region with 2 seeds or less will advance furthest through Worlds? To me, this has to be the VCS. I think the VCS is clearly the strongest of all these teams, and the top VCS teams, obviously Gigabyte Marines. I think Flying Oyster has a chance, but I am going to be going with Gigabyte Marines. I think they're going to be the most picked option as well. Which team will play the most different champions at Worlds? This is also a very, very interesting question. Again, probably a team that you think is going to go far, probably a team that you think is going to go deep. Honestly, I'm going to go with Cloud9. I actually think they have a chance to get out of groups, and I think all of their players have very, very diverse champion pools. Again, they're probably not going to like win Worlds or make it to finals or maybe even semifinals, so maybe they're going to get less games overall, but I think we could see a lot of unique champions from Cloud9 overall. I think they really have champion oceans at every single position. How many reverse sweeps will there be at Worlds? I'm going with one. I'm hoping for one. I think there will be one. We've seen a lot of series going deep. We've seen a lot of series going to 5 games so far. So maybe I should even go 2, but I don't know. For some reason, I'm just feeling 1, and I hope it's a spicy one. How many pentakills is there going to be at Worlds? I'm going 1 again. Especially with Zeri being not as popular in the meta, Jinx not being as popular in the meta right now, a lot of these like main pentakill type champions not being super great. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be a pentakill type Worlds, but we'll see. What will be the duration of the longest game? I feel like we're not really seeing that many long games right now. I hope we don't really get that many long games. You know, long games can be fun and exciting sometimes, but they can also drag on a little bit too long. I'm going to be going 44.59 or less, because I hope we get some more quick and exciting ones. But every once in a while, a long game can be fun if it's action-packed, not if it's like one of those 70-minute games with like 7 kills or something like that. How many Baron steals are there going to be? This one, I'm going 3 to 5, which I feel like is a decent amount. I feel like this is crazy that this is how it breaks down. 3 to 5, 6 to 8, 9 plus. That seems like a lot. I'm going 3 to 5, and again, I hope they are exciting and in some big moments, and hopefully there's some Western teams, because that's definitely a way the West is going to be able to win some games, is by stealing some Barons. Which Drake will be killed the most at Worlds? We got to go with the meme. We got to go with Cloud. This is just totally random. I mean, this is just a coin flip. For some reason, my mind wants to say Hextech, but we got to go Cloud for the memes. Those are my picks. Those are my top 20 props. Again, I just wanted to get this video out because it's something new, something different. I want to try it. I think this is kind of a cool idea. We'll see how this plays out. We'll see if Riot wants to improve on it, change it in the future, or maybe do away with it completely. I don't know. But again, these picks are going to lock in 5 days. And then, again, we will have the normal picks of playing knockouts once the playing knockouts are selected. And then we'll have the same stuff of, getting to select groups 1 through 4 and quarterfinal semis, all that good stuff like we know and love. Worlds Pick'em is always a super fun part of Worlds every single year. It's been a tradition for quite some time. I like that they're changing it up a little bit without really getting too far away from it. But I don't know. I thought it was kind of fun. We'll see how it goes. And I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on all those different picks. There's so many different ways you could go. Definitely drop a like if you guys did enjoy. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.